Welcome back. So FlySafair could face a major pilot strike as early as next week. Talks between the airline and its pilots, who are represented by the union Solidarity, have broken down after 3 months of failed wage negotiations. The pilots have rejected the company's offer of a 5.7% increase and are demanding a 10.5% raise for the 2025-2026 financial year, followed by increases linked to inflation. For more on this, I'm now joined by FlySafair's Chief Marketing Officer, Kirby Gordon. Kirby, a very good morning to you. Thank you so much for making time for us this morning. So following yesterday's meeting with the CCMA around the strike rules, has there been confirmation now from the unions that indeed they will be going on a strike?
Good morning. Thanks so much for the opportunity. I think before getting into the nitty-gritty, I just want to put out an expression of respect. I think the reality is that, in order for both the company and the employees to reach this sort of point that we're at now, where both are effectively, enduring costs around this equation in terms of us obviously being here now and looking at reductions in flight schedules, and of course the pilots, looking towards strike action, which is on a no work, no pay basis. It's clearly a situation where we've both reached a stage that we feel very, very strongly about what's on the table. And I just want to start off by saying that, it needs to be clear that from a company's perspective, we deeply respect the rights of our employees to participate in this process. And obviously it's our responsibility to balance the needs of our people with the long-term sustainability of the company. So to answer your question directly, as of last night, we did receive the notice from the union that they intend to embark upon industrial action that will start on Monday morning for the duration of 1 day at this stage, which is obviously an expression of that concern. It is something that we are fully prepared for, so we anticipate absolutely no operational disruptions as a result of it. We have enough crew on hand that are willing to fly, that are not necessarily members of the strike or the union, to actually fully achieve what we need to achieve for the day. And yeah, that's the current status quo on the situation. But the two parties continue to engage in good faith in the negotiations as we go. Okay,
so confirmation that on Monday they go on strike?
That's correct, yes, on Monday. It's going to be a stay-away strike, so there'll be no picketing. Obviously, it stands to reason, but I guess it's worth confirming for customers and employees, etc., that there will be no intimidation or presence anywhere at the airport. It will be a stay-away strike, but those members of the union that will be participating will be involved in that industrial action on Monday at this stage.
Do you know how many pilots?
We're still waiting for confirmation on that. So there's a process that unfolds now. As I say, this notice was only issued last night. So there's a process that still commences through the balance of the day. But obviously we know how many pilots are willing not to participate in the strike in order to be able to protect the schedule.
Are you able to share that figure with us?
At this stage, to be perfectly fair, I don't have the exact number in front of me. I know that we've got enough that we need to cover off the day and the rest of the week's operations, but I'd have to get back to you on the specific number. But it's obviously a significant portion.
Yeah. So before yesterday's meeting, you had already come up with a plan around what's going to happen from Tuesday up until the 28th of July. What happens to that plan now that you've only been told about this one-day strike?
Nothing, to be honest. I mean, we're prepared. Obviously, there's a course of action that is walking along now, so we have to wait and see how this transpires. Continued conversations continue. There's every chance that the teams might find one another before Monday, which could also change things. You know how these matters unravel, but it equally, I suppose, could take a little bit longer. Either way, we decided proactively last week that we wanted to, or this week rather, that we wanted to ensure that we were ready for any potential issues. Our passengers are a key priority to us, and we really wanted to manage any potential industrial action as responsibly as we possibly could. So we took that decision ahead of time to say, let's ensure that we do the responsible thing by our passengers, and that we make sure that we rearrange the schedule as much as possible to ensure that we're confident that we can achieve what we need to from an operational perspective.
Yeah, and from this point and where you're currently standing, have you noticed any changes in booking and changes to flights because of the potential strike that was there and the impact that has had on your bottom line?
No changes in the booking behavior at this stage. I think it is still pretty soon in the bigger equation of things, but there hasn't been any changes. People still seem to be booking with confidence. I think that customers understand that we, have a certain approach towards these sorts of things. And in fairness, from a commercial perspective, we've effectively taken the heat beforehand because one of the preparations here was obviously shaving down that schedule somewhat. So we are flying less and effectively reducing our capacity to earn income just to ensure that the operations are stable. So in that essence, the heat has been taken by the company, but that means that there is something that customers can at least have confidence in when they book.
Okay. And then let's go back to the issues at hand. Overworked and underpaid, that's what the pilots are accusing the company of, some crew members as well, but we understand that that's a separate negotiation at this particular point. How's the company then dealing with that aspect, of 5.7% wage increase, where the union is demanding actually double digits?
So look, to be honest, to get into the particulars of the negotiation in the media is something we're not really all that keen to do out of respect for the employees. I think the reality is that, even the numbers that this has been reduced to of 5.7 and 10 point, et cetera, are quite reductionist. The ways in which pilots are enumerated are quite complex. So the discussion point there is really just around a basic salary, but there's so many other remuneration structures that are, bear into the bigger conversation. There's flight pay, there are allowances. There are a number of other factors that come into the equation that actually change the numbers quite considerably, and it's really complex to talk to. But I think suffice to say, as you mentioned it before, that the summation of the issues are very much the same as the issues that exist between any employer and employee. And so, these are all on the table. And I think the most important thing is just that we continue to negotiate in good faith with one another.
Are you able to share with us, Kirby, what your market share is currently?
Yes, we're operating about, it depends on the day in terms of how much we're flying, but it's between 60 and 65% of the domestic seat capacity.
60 to 65. That is a lot, yeah?
Yes, yeah, it is.
And it's the majority.
It is, yes.
Sure. So how then do you, or what explanation can you then give to your clients? Because after all, it is the pilots that ensure that there is a safe landing, the pilots that ensure that also, amongst other crew members, of course, as well, make sure that FlySafair is the leading airline when it comes to on-time departures as well as arrivals. So how do you explain to your customers that we are still taking care of our staff members, including our pilots, that you have expressed confidence in choosing our product as well?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's evident across the board. I mean, at this stage, we're involved in tense negotiations between the two parties, which is obviously not a situation that anyone wants to be in at any given point. But it is also a natural point of a relationship that one goes through these ebbs and flows. I think the confidence comes in the history. I think we've remained the most on-time airline in the world for several years in a row now, and that is a testament to the teamwork. There've been no fundamental changes at Safair. It's a fantastic place to work. And I think the fact that we continue to engage and meet one another and operate with respect the way that we do is a testament to the fact that we are a strong team that works well together. Yes, right now we're at an impasse, and that is the situation that we're facing at the moment, but it's certainly not testament to a massive deterioration on relations across the board. We will find one another and things will return to normal.